Hello, weebs and normies. Welcome to the Anime Club. I'm Graham.
And I'm George.
All right. Welcome to another episode of TAC Time, everyone. We are here on our second episode. It's hard to believe. We're just rolling out these episodes as quick as can be. We have another wonderful special guest that is in some way linked to our previous guest that we'll get into. So without further ado, of course, we're going to welcome Pyrrhixz to TAC Time.
Hello.
Hey, what's
welcome,
up, guys?
welcome.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for joining us. Well, as a bit of a backstory, the linkage here between Pyrrhixz and Sketchy is we were doing our umamusume stream. We had Sketchy show up, and we were watching some of your content, Pyrrhixz, and Sketchy was like poking over at you and say, hey, come check out. These guys are watching your content. And you were both there, and it was like we were just mind blown that we had both of you there.
Our chat was going crazy,
Everyone was losing their minds. It was a very cool experience. So we're really humbled, not only that you joined us on the stream, but that you're here with us on TAC Time. We're honored to have both of you guys as some of our first guests on TAC Time. I want to start off with a question because everyone knows you as the nikke guy and the umamusume guy. And if you don't have encyclopedic knowledge, that's totally fine. We're like sub that, and we'll defer to Sketchy for all horse-related questions. But I did find it kind of interesting. Now, nikke is what some might describe as a gooner game, and we have umamusume that you might describe as a more wholesome waifu game on the cuter end of the spectrum. Right. It's kind of interesting, like, how did it come to be that you're doing both of these kind of very dissimilar games on one channel?
So on the surface level, they're very different. One is, you can see behind me, for the people that are visually watching, I have a ton of nikke stuff behind me up on my wall.
Okay, so these characters, I was going to ask you about that. These are all nikke characters in the back, is that right?
Yeah, so directly behind me, the bunny girls that you see behind me are actually my partner. She's an artist, so like she draws for nikke for like fan art. So this is her fan art that's right behind me.
Oh, that's
and then
amazing.
The wall scroll is like a wall scroll from Japan that we got when we went together. So
that's incredible. I had no idea. Wow.
So Nikke is an incredibly immersive game. It is very degenerate. Again, like the visual aspects are like, we make the joke, came for the plot, stayed for the plot, right? But the thing that merges nikke with umamusume is I'm a very story-driven player when it comes to video games. Not just gacha games, but like if I'm playing a AAA game or like an RPG or anything to do with mobile media consumption, I like a good story. The thing about nikke is nikke had a very gripping opener to the start of their game, and I had just come off playing like Genshin Impact, Star Rail, and like my bar was very low because I just played Tower of Fantasy before I went into nikke. And Tower of Fantasy was a fun game to play with my friends, but the story aspect at the beginning wasn't really the strongest. So playing nikke and just having a story that wasn't afraid to show the brutality of the world they're set in really gripped me and brought me into that world. And I'll be real, like, we talk about the visual assets of the game, but I rarely look at that nowadays, and it's more so just like how good the story is. And I found umamusume so intriguing because it was that same feeling, but there's so many different characters that are a part of this world that's based on real life. And I just thought it was so cool that I'm not just learning about this fictional world a little by little, but it's also tied into real life history that's personified through, for lack of better terms, like these anime horse girls that everybody loves. So for the most part, it's just the story connection, both of them having a really solid premise and just a great way of portraying a message or like, the hardships that they faced within either this fictional world for nikke or like this semi-fictional world in umamusume that's based on real life events. So that's kind of why I just like a good story in a gacha game. And I felt it really cool that I was able to have the privilege of doing umamusume content because I started it during a burnout period in nikke because I've been doing content creation for 2.5 years on it.
Oh, wow.
So my first video on my channel, I hope you guys didn't watch it. It's the Haru Urara video. It's so poorly done. I tell people don't watch that video because I made it like in 2 hours or something because my partner actually got me into Uma. She's a day one Japanese or JP Uma player. So she was really into it and started telling me more about it before Global came out. We're actually in Japan. We were talking about it. And I was like, oh, it's horse racing. I might get into it. It might be okay. And then I played it. I'm like, why am I crying? Like, you guys have seen season 1, season 2. Are you guys done with season 3 yet? I'm not sure. Are you guys done with season 3?
At the time of recording, At the time of recording, we've finished season 3. We haven't done any of the OVAs. There's a movie. Or Cinderella Grey. So that's coming next.
Sin Grey is great. Sin Grey is great. But
we've heard.
For instance, my partner's name is Nekopon, and she does artwork. She loves Rice Shower, and I was like, "Oh, why do you like this edgy looking character?" And then we watch it, I'm like, "Why am I crying?" And then we see Tokai Teo, I'm like, "Why am I crying?" And then we hit season 3, and I'm like, "Okay, so everybody loves Kita-san Black, but like I love Cheval Grand in season 3." And I was like, her side plot point, I'm like, "Why am I crying?" Like, Uma does this thing where it really drives home certain aspects. Like, if you are a sports fan, for instance, it drives home certain aspects that you relate to if you played sports or watch, like, people sports, right? Or it goes through, like, realistic hardships. Are you pointing to George?
Yeah, George, 100%. Not me. That couldn't be me, bro.
I've been trying to keep up with your guys' reactions. So, like, I'm not fully caught up with it, but I have seen, like, most of your season 2 and season 1 stuff.
Wow,
but yeah,
I
think the dynamic is so cool. Well, I mean, yeah, it's cool to see the aspect, especially somebody who wasn't into anime as much or like is brand new to something like Umamusume and like what they think about it. Because your guys' dynamic is actually super interesting. Like I was watching it with a few of my friends in the Discord call, and I was like, this is so chill. Like it's really cool to just see the different perspectives. You know?
I don't even know what to say. That's very kind of you to say.
Seriously.
Thank you. Wow.
No, it's just I enjoy, just like how I enjoy good stories in video games. I enjoy people who are very like clearly passionate about going into similar media that I'm interested in. So it's just very cool to see such a different dynamic than somebody that's just going into it solo or like just going into it as reaction purely. Because like a lot of your other videos that you guys post on the channel, you have a certain viewpoint, Graham, and then George might have a different viewpoint from that because of the differences you guys have with either being affiliated or not with the media you're consuming. So I just think it's pretty cool. But the long-winded answer. The long-winded answer. Sorry about the tangent, but yeah.
Not a problem.
Yeah. No, I mean, you got me curious here, going a little bit back to Nikke. First off, thank you for the kind words. It's always a little,
of course.
Like I feel a little... at the time, sometimes a little silly trying to like dissect the themes of a horse girl racing anime, and like it's like this weird out of body experience where I'm like, wait, what am I doing with my life? This is what like I'm actually doing right now on a freaking Monday night or Friday night or whatever.
Question yourself, though. That's understandable.
Like it's funny. It's very jarring sometimes, but then at the same time, I'm like, these are like kind of universal themes that almost everybody can relate to in some way or another. And it almost feels disrespectful to our audience, disrespectful to Graham, and disrespectful to my time, and then to the creators of the show to not really try and take serious something that they've put so much work and effort into. So yeah, like it's like a thing I think I will always fight in the channel. Part of me is gonna be like, bro, you're talking about freaking, human animal hybrids racing each other. It's like, yes, but it's got such amazing themes and all this stuff. So I don't know if those two conflicting thoughts will ever fully settle in my mind, but we'll see what happens.
And if I could, before you ask your question, George, or carry on, George is the one who's also really into stories. I'm the notorious story skipper. I don't give a heck about stories. I'm a gameplay first kind of guy. When I play games, I'm just like, if I can skip the story, it's just like, great. Dark Souls has like almost no overt story in your face. That's perfect for me. I just want to be gameplay first. I'm a Terraria kind of guy. Zero story, only gameplay. So like, I can appreciate I've actually, through the channel, I've been able to appreciate stories more and more. George has some awesome insights into stories. It helps me to kind of slow down, and George can pick out things here or there that really kind of get me more immersed. So it's been an incredible experience for me as well to go through the channel. And I've had like, George has had this weeb experience that like he wouldn't have had otherwise. And I've kind of had this like normie experience with the story that I didn't realize I was going to have. And it's been a really interesting experience. And like George said, like we're really honored that you and and other people enjoy our content. It's so humbling. We just really like to enjoy and dissect things and think about stuff on a deep level and kind of yap a bit about it. And so it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's been a great time, a good experience so far.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's humbling, like Graham said, because like I'll see a video and like in the grand scheme of things, 900 views, 1,000 views is like, whatever compared to some of the views these YouTube videos get. But I think of it like, bro, imagine trying to fit 1,000 people in a room. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people that watch something.
Definitely.
That we had to say and stuff. But okay, to bring it back to what I was going to ask about Nikke though, because you got me intrigued.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
I'd seen the clips. Clips, and I immediately wrote off the game because I, like Graham kind of said, I was like,
that's valid.
Bro, this is
valid.
gooner bait, okay? Keep this away from me. But I'm not saying I'm going to go download the game tonight, but what are you able to like distill the story, or at least like the premise? Because I'm curious. I don't know what it's about at all. I just saw, look at this thick girl right here shooting with like insane jiggle physics. Okay, that's all I knew. But I was wondering, like, what's the premise? Like, what is it that hooked you initially on Nikke?
Oh man, before you answer, Pyrrhixz, if you somehow get George to play Nikke, I will absolutely lose my mind. That would be hilarious.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I'll say that from the get go.
Oh,
but.
boy.
I might watch some of your videos and that dissect the story. I can say that. I can say that.
So it's funny you say that because when we first started playing Nikke, there was a really big content creator. He goes by the name of Tomias, and he was like one of the pioneers that did Nikke content early on. He actually entrusted me 2 years ago to summarize the entire story of Nikke. So I'm on chapter, I believe, 29 and 30 right now. There's 42 chapters in the game. So if you want to just listen to it like an audiobook, I've done like 28 of them so far. If you want to just immerse yourself.
I might do that. Yeah, if the story is as intriguing as Uma, right? Like maybe I'll do that.
I make the joke now that this is supposed to be like an hour and a half long. I would be here for the full hour and a half explaining Nikke's story just because of how much I enjoy it. But I'll keep it very brief.
Sure.
So Nikke is set in a post-apocalyptic world where humanity is under siege, under attack, I guess you could say, by mechanical beings known as raptures. They're similar in appearance to like different insects that are like in our modern day and like different animals that are in our modern days. Like there's a giant flying whale, there's like a kraken like in the ocean you have to fight. Like there's a lot of spider-looking ones, seahorse-looking ones. So humanity was attacked. Their population got decimated by like 80%, and they were on the verge of extinction. So 80%. They got the groundbreaking tech, which was like creating Nikkes, which are cybernetically enhanced humans, I guess you could say, that fight against these raptors. They're the only ones that can really kill them. So humanity, through like a series of unfortunate events, they ended up just forfeiting the entire battle. They ended up retreating underground, and they kind of just gave up. So you follow along the legacy of humanity's, like all of their triumphs and all of their falters, and you now have to find a way to liberate the surface area that's now taken over by these raptures. And at the same time, there's a subplot of giving Nikkes like their own autonomous right to do things that aren't just based on a command or like a strict order from the government. So like our commander is very much like the girls frontline commander, but he's like not as hard like as the girls frontline commander is. He's getting there. But the big thing about Nikke's story that really pulled me in was the fact that a lot of gacha games shy away from death. Like death isn't really something that's discussed a whole lot. And if they're like, Genshin's a prime example. I think it's like the battle. I'm gonna get flamed. I haven't played Genshin in 4 years, okay, or like 3 years.
You're good.
I think it's the Watatsumi Island battle in Inazuma. Okay. It's like a war that's happening, but you see no one die. Like it's like hyped up as this really big confrontation, but when you go through it, it's like they're dancing and just like hitting each other. They're falling down. There's no real like. There's no real grandiose realization, like, holy shit, like, everything's lost, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
But for Nikke, the thing that I love about Nikke is that you don't see it firsthand either. There's these things that you collect called lost relics, and they're like, I guess, love letters from the first invasion period of people that are literally getting slaughtered, killed, like, decimated, destroyed by these raptures. Jeez. Like, you find letters from, like, a little girl of her dad taking her out to, like, an abandoned amusement park because she doesn't understand that they're being attacked, and the dad's trying to make her last few days like special and happy. And this isn't voiced. This isn't in the game. This isn't voiced.
A Wonderful Life level kind of thing. Jeez.
And then like,
or not?
There's
Wonderful
other.
Life. I forget the movie, but yes.
Oh, a lot of people compare it to what is it? War of the Worlds. A lot of people compare Nikke to that.
Some of that,
that movie.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I think the brutality of just the realistic atmosphere of the game is what pulls me in, because there are full spoiler for the first chapter. You basically crash land on a transport ship on the surface. You're the lone survivor with one nikke. You go out with that nikke and you find 2 other people that join your squad. You find out that she gets corrupted. So that means like her brain gets scrambled and like the raptures have overtaken her mind, basically. So like all of their directives have overridden her original directives. So you have to shoot her in the first chapter. Like you dome her, chapter 1. So from that point on, it's like, you know that this world is harsh and brutal and cruel. You find out that the people that are fighting on the surface, over 90% of them die, and over like, I think the chances of a commander living in his first encounter is like less than 5%. So they're just throwing lambs to the slaughter, quite literally, and it's because the people who run this society, they don't want humanity to go back to the surface. They like them being underground in this like utopia, so to say.
Like to maintain power.
It's just to maintain power. But the big thing for us as to why we kept playing Nikke, because the first 16 chapters are already really strong, but it's the fact that Nikke likes to leave a breadcrumb trail where you see a bit about the world, but they don't tell too much about it. And you have to wait for the next anniversary update or like the next chapter update. Like we just recently had a really big New Year's story that bridged a gap from like their first half anniversary event in 2023 to 2026.
Wow.
Yeah, so their storytelling, I want to say that not just gacha, but all media that I've consumed, like video game related, it's the best story I've ever experienced. Hands down.
Wow.
By far. Yeah. So I'm a big like visual novel player. Like I'm a big VN player. I played some big AAA games. I'm kind of like the opposite of you, Graham. I'm like bad at most AAA video games. So I just like, I play like story-based stuff. But yeah, no,
Nikke, fair enough.
A lot of people consider Nikke's story as like one of the best things that they've ever consumed. And it's like a masterclass in storytelling, in my opinion. But it's just the brutality of the world, the realism of the world. Yeah, there's a lot of real risk and actual loss. Like our most recent full anniversary event, so for 3rd year, we lost we have permadeaths in the story, and we've never seen that before. Like they're gone, period. So
dang,
it was
so like a character you pulled for is like
dead.
gone,
is dead. Yes.
Wow,
and it's 3 of them. So.
It's like the character in the story is gone, but you have the character still to use.
Oh, you can still use the character.
You can still play.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
But it's just that whole like, you know, when there's risk, there's actual chance of failing.
Sure.
Basically, like the 3rd anniversary covered us fighting the big bad, like the big final boss, and of course we lose. We get destroyed. And we don't just lose, we lose horribly. Like you see every single one of them die, their last words. And like you see one of the strongest groups in the game get completely like decimated. Like there's no hope. And the New Year's update like reinstilled that hope that we can still carry on this legacy and fight and win this battle. Like normally for gacha games, the 3rd year is where you see either a high incline of like the story's progression, or it just starts to stagnate. With Genshin, that's how I felt. It kind of stagnated when I hit that 2nd to 3rd year. But Nikke has just been an uphill climb. Like every update they do is better than the last, and I don't know how they keep doing it.
Wow.
But it's like, if you want to just experience a story, George, I highly recommend that you just listen. Like even if it's not even if it's like VTubers that are playing the story, you can find like full story playthroughs of everything.
Definitely not watch VTubers, that's for sure.
Well, but I can do the what you said, right? Your recap. You're at chapter what you said 30 out of 42 or something? Yeah. I mean, I'm totally down to do something like that. So, like, is the story? Do you know if there's like a projected end? Because like that's one thing there is. Okay, because like I haven't played a whole lot of gachas. I'll be upfront. Like the daily log and stuff really gets to me after a while. But little bit I have experienced, it's like they almost drag the story out on purpose because like they want to keep this going forever, and so like they have to do it in the most like slow manner possible. So like how are they doing that?
So I know it's completely valid what you say about like drawing the story out, but I think I can count on one hand the down points that Nikke has had in their main campaign story, and it's not even like up to 5. It's like 3, maybe 3 chapters that are weak out of the entirety of the 42 that are out. By the way, talking about the longevity, they have a 10-year plan, and we just ended our prologue. Chapter 42 is a prologue.
No
ending
way!
What?
Yeah.
What?
So
okay,
we're finally hitting chapter like main chapter 1 or act 1, I guess you could say, moving forward.
Dang!
Wow!
But,
Dang!
Yeah.
I was gonna ask about that. So the setup you said here is like basically the entire planet is overrun by these. And what was the name of them again?
They're called Raptures.
The Raptures, that's right. So I was so curious. I am along with you, where I really like a story to be able to let go of characters, have some death. It doesn't need to be a slaughter fest, and I prefer if it wasn't. But I like my stories to be grounded. It really helps me get more into it. Now, high fantasy is and action and stuff is great too, and I like that. But that's kind of my special sauce is that. And so I think that like. That's great that they do that. And when you had said like, well, the whole planet is overrun, I started thinking like, okay, but being a gacha game, it's always like, okay, the next big bad is here and we're going to overcome that because like, that's just the way gacha games work. But I was genuinely shocked when you said that like you get to the big bad and then you like lost. And I was like, that was almost going to be a question that I asked of like, how do they square the whole planet being overrun with these guys? But then, like, gacha games are going to gacha game, and you just always win against the new raid boss that comes out, and that's just how it goes. So, like, how does that work? But, like, they lost. That's pretty interesting. That alone made me go, maybe I'll check out the story, actually. That actually sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. So, going along that, the big thing about Nikke is not every encounter that we have with an adversary ends with us coming out unscathed. Like I completely hate power of friendship endings. I think it's a cop out in writing. I don't like it. I mean, unless like it's the odds are completely in the favor of the protagonist, you know, I don't believe in an act of God in air quotes like finishing off this final threat. And a lot of people were upset with the 3rd anniversary because their characters ended up getting killed off. But the reality is, like, this is basically we're fighting the Queen of the Raptures. It's the Rapture Queen that we're fighting, and it's like 9 people going up against her, and it's the remnants of the strongest squad that ever existed 100 years ago. So of course, like their odds aren't going to be that high. But going alongside like the less show mortel aspect of the game as well, we don't see a lot of on-screen death. Nikke is a very much like an idle. You read through what they're saying, it's voice acted, but there are certain things that really genuinely have made my skin crawl. Like, so Nikkes don't die per se. If any part of them is injured except for their head, they can live. We've seen Nikkes get decapitated, bisected, limbs ripped off, like crushed, and they come back. And the thing about that is when they come back, they have a thing called cognitive dissonance where they start disassociating that they're not human and they realize that they're like machine. And that can cause them to undergo like a full mental breakdown and collapse, which then makes them dangerous to humanity. So you go through all of that, and that's like another aspect. Like some of our main casts, like Rappy, who's our main character, gets decapitated in chapter 2. Her head gets clean cut off in chapter 2. Anise and Neon get cut in half, and like they have to live with that. So there's like real weight to like not even just permanent deaths, but like if they die in air quotes, so to say, from like these injuries that would kill a normal person. And likewise, like there's things on the surface that you find like in early chapters, if you guys watch through gameplay or like the summaries that I do, you discover like an ant colony is what they call it. It's like a little underground area where the Raptures will drag like these mass-produced Nikkes who are kind of like the run-of-the-mill soldiers, like your normal grunt soldiers. They'll drag them into that area and like crush them up and stuff them in boxes to use them as like fuel or energy for like their operation.
Gosh.
So it's very morbid. And it's not like direct death. It's more so like if you sign up to be a nikke or commander, you're dying. Like you're signing up to die. And the harsh reality of the world is like you're signing, like there's all this propaganda to join the military, but it's just because the population is too high. They can't fit everybody in the Ark right now, which is the underground city they're in. So they're doing this as population control. Yeah, so it's very the layers of Nikke's story are like very complex, and I feel like the whole interview would just be me explaining like the layers of this story.
Sure.
But the big thing was just that fact of the world being so harsh and cruel, and then we go to Umamusume and it's so like happy and rainbows.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of our viewers here are waiting for us to get to Umamusume, and we will. But I have a couple more questions here about Nikke. So one, two questions. The first one's really short, but so are they like robotic, with like skin, or do they still have like bones and like muscles and stuff?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. So originally, what Nikkes are is they take the brain of like able-bodied individuals. In this case, it's like adult females, and they put them in cybernetic bodies. Beforehand, they had like they had like rocket-powered thrusters in their legs. They had like guns in their arms, like full-on Terminator type stuff. But due to cognitive dissonance and realizing that they're not human, a lot of them went through mind switches and mental collapses. So they're still human appearing, so to say. And they're basically, whenever they are made into Nikkes, they're made in the ideal form that they view themselves as. So that's why you see all these like different looking Nikkes, right? But the big thing about like the conversion process is the fact that the mass-produced Nikkes I explained earlier are like the ones that don't go through that process and like fully become these independent Nikkes, so to say. And the conversion rate to become like one of the characters you see behind me is like less than 1% in the story.
Okay, interesting.
So it's gotcha. And like the thing about them being just a brain, so to say, is like you see instances of Nikkes who are about to die like on the surface, and they'll take their brain out, like they'll physically remove it so people can find it later on and like potentially revive them later on.
Oh my
we call them brain.
Wild.
They're called brain factories that are on the surface, and it's literally brain in a jar. It's literally brain in a jar.
Holy
frick. Like. This is all like chapter 1 through 4 that you learn about this.
Oh, no.
So like you go and you find, so the character that's like right here, so like Snow White, who's like in the corner over here, you go to look for her in like chapter 5, and you go to this area that's very like snow capped, it's like a mountaintop area, and you meet these two characters that basically have bodies in like tubes that are in this research facility, and it's because these Nikkes were about to die and they ripped out part of their brain. So they had a chance to survive.
Bro.
So they just need they need to find the pieces and put them back together.
Oh my God.
So that they can live again, basically.
Well, maybe on the other hand, maybe I won't listen to any of the story.
Oh my gosh.
Dang, that's crazy.
I love dark storytelling. I love dark storytelling because it's the reality of this world. Like I know a lot of what you see for the fan service stuff is stuff that's like relegated to the Ark. So it's like the entertainment district, or like all the stuff that they want to just do on their own free time. They also do it because they need to do mundane tasks just to think that they're still human, So they don't need to eat or drink, so to say. Like they don't need to do activities, so to say. But
are they? They're not aware at all that they're cyborgs, essentially. Like
they are.
They are. But it's a level of like cognitive dissonance you don't want to cross. That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yep. Interesting.
Basically.
Very interesting. I like that the game is telling, man, there's nothing I love more than a story that's not interested in just like continuing the game, but is instead willing to make a story, and then they make the game around the story. That's the way, I mean, like I'll no matter what we're talking about, I'll make a parallel to Dark Souls somehow. So, incoming. But basically,
that is true.
100%. It's crazy. So the thing I like about Dark Souls is they didn't make a game to make Dark Souls. They made the Dark Souls area, they made Lordran, and then they were like, here's the areas and how they connect and how they exist in lore. Now we make a game based on that, right? Like the game layout and the level design doesn't make any freaking sense at all. It's just like absolutely asinine and ridiculous. but that's what made it so good and organic to like engage with. And so I get the same vibe from like the Nikke stories. Like, listen, they're not here to further the gacha game. They've made a story, and now they're making a gacha game around that story that they've made. And I think that's the best way to make immersive storytelling and having something of real like immersive quality, I guess you could say. So that's great. That's freaking, it's cool. I love it.
Yeah, that actually kind of leads to the second question I had, which was,
all right,
you said they have like a 10-year plan.
Yep.
What do we know what happens after that 10 year? Is the game over, or they're like, okay, now we're moving on to more story? Maybe it's hard to say. Maybe they haven't even talked that far out, but kind of like Graham says, it sounds like they had a story first, and there's a lot of different ways to write the story, but you can almost always tell when the storyteller had the end in mind. Maybe they didn't have, the full, start to finish. Maybe it was like 80%, but they knew at least where they wanted to get to. And that just makes everything else feel more cohesive. So that's kind of what motivates the question, right? Like, what happens after the 10 years is over?
So I very much am under the belief, and I've had like the privilege of talking to the scenario writers for the game with the recent collaboration that I did.
That's
so
amazing.
they 100% have the entire story laid out. If you look at the first trailer for Nikke, it ties into stuff that we just went through in the 3rd anniversary. They've been teasing, like they've been hinting
Honestly,
stuff since the game came out. But what they said for the 10-year plan, I believe it was either Act 2 would be done or Act 1 would be done at that point. So it's either...
Okay, so this is going to go for a while.
Oh my gosh.
I tell people I'm going to be 50 playing Nikke and making content. Like, I don't care. I've never felt like so compelled to follow a gacha game in real time till it like ends or EOS's. Because the only other instance I know of is like Honkai Impact 3rd, where it's had an ending and like the game is still going.
Right.
But no, 100%. Nikke is like very impressive because personally for me, like I also went to school for script and screenplay writing. So I went into this game from like a writing standpoint, and it's completely blown me away with how much you have to pay attention in this. Like normally gacha games will throw random things in where it'll be like, oh, you meet this random person, you'll never talk to them again. There's an instance like in chapter, I think it's like chapter 2 with like Rappy getting decapitated. That applies to like chapter 36 all the way down in like 2025. We call back to that. And that's like the longest callback that we've had in the story so far.
That's amazing.
If you ever get fully into the story, I will send you guys a reference on how to like they just released a storyline for everything. I would love to see reactions on that, like little plug. That'd be great. Like
you never know. Actually, now that you say that, that's certainly a possibility. You never know.
They get really long.
Yeah.
After chapter 24, they're over an hour a piece for like 2 chapters. Like chapter 41 and 42 is like 6 hours altogether if you watch everything.
Oh my gosh.
The story's very long. Story's very long now.
I can at least make the basic guarantee that if we ever went full time on our channel, that would definitely be on the plate of things that we would check out 100%. That would be great.
True.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Wow. Well, that's pretty cool. I did not expect that the Gunnar game would be able to have such an incredible story. I would have thought because there's a lot of people, I'm a story snob / I don't really care about the story most of the time. And I remember like playing a lot of gacha games and people saying like, oh, the story in this gacha game or this game is like so good. And I'll play it and I'll be like, it's trash. I hate it every time. So I think like I may have seen people say like, no, Nikke's story is actually so good. But it is really interesting to hear, like, it really does have a lot of meat on it and a lot of intrigue. And of course, it seems like the most important part is, like, love and passion from the developers of what they want to do with the story and having it be more organic and true to itself than to just, be a story in a game. So color me shocked and surprised because I've actually played Nikke. Of course, I skipped the story. I actually don't even think I played very much at all. Probably didn't even do the first chapter.
That explains. Yeah, it's very like what you call Time Crisis-esque. So if you don't like that, then it's hard to play. So I don't blame you for that. I
was thinking I would enjoy it, but it just didn't really click with me. And I was actually pretty disappointed because the reason I started playing it was because they did one of my favorite game characters. They had a 2B collab. And I was like,
oh, it was a Nier collab. Yeah.
Yes, the Nier collab. And I thought, this is the time. If I was ever going to play Nikke, I'm going to re-roll for 2B and then I'll play it and I'll see. But I just ended up not really jiving with the gameplay, and that's everything for me. So I was like, all right, and I kind of bounced off. But I do like the visuals for all things considered, you know, from the art style to the character. So, you know, there's that.
Art style.
Art style.
That's right.
I guess like as a final thing to close out for Nikke, I know you skipped the story, but if you genuinely want to go through it, I tell everybody that gets into Nikke this, if chapter 1 doesn't hook you, it's not a story for you. And unlike other gacha games where you have to play like multiple acts, Nikke presents itself for all it is within the first chapter. If you don't like that, then it's perfectly fine. It's not a story for you. But it has one of the best hooks that I've seen playing gacha games, because it's so direct and in your face.
As a Nikke enthusiast, I am very impressed by your willingness to just say, listen, it's not a story for you, no problem, you can move on. Usually...
yeah, because like you shouldn't force yourself to play something that you don't like. Like
100%.
That's how I feel about, you know, like even with my content that I make, I cover stuff that I like, you know, it's more of a chore if you want to just do it for whatever ulterior motive you have, like your friends are playing it or something, you want to just like talk with them about it. You know, if it doesn't interest you, you're not going to enjoy it, because you're going to have like this begrudging feeling going into it, like you already don't like it, you know? And there's a lot of gacha games. Like if you want to be a boat girl collector, you can play Azure Lane. If you want to like go to play Genshin Impact, you can play Genshin. You can play Star Rail. You can go play like GFL. There's a ton of games that will, you know, whatever fits your fancy, I guess you could say,
100%.
is whatever you can go and play. But I highly encourage everybody to give Nikke a try. And if it's not for you, that is perfectly fine. At least you experience the first chapter of the game, because it pulls no punches with just introducing its world in its complete like raw form. And that's the whole premise of the entire story. And it only gets more depressing from there. We make the joke of like, you can bring tissues, whatever purpose that's for crying or whatever else. Enjoy the story. Enjoy the story after that.
That's actually genius. All right, that's fair enough. That's crazy. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. I wanted to ask you. You had said your partner is Nekopon, was it?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious, if you don't mind me asking, how did you and Nekopon initially meet? Like she's doing art, fan art, I assume, right, for Nikke. Is that how that happened, or?
I saw her post on Twitter and I was like, you want to do commissions? And then we talked for like 3 months. I flew out to like help her at a convention right after Anime Expo. We kind of hit it off. We talked for like a year-ish after that. And then we went to Japan together and I was like, you want to just like go out? You want to just date? So we started dating after that. And actually, it's funny you mentioned that, because a couple weeks from now, I'm moving out to California with her so that we can start doing stuff together and laying everything out for content stuff. And she does umamusume prints too. Like her original thing she did was Uma stuff, but it wasn't popular because JP Uma was kind of like isolated to Japan. Not a lot of people played it in the States, but umamusume is popping off now, so she's doing a lot of that more. And the whole thing that hit it off was just like a Twitter interaction, basically.
That's amazing.
So it's awesome. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy because, you know, most of the time when people ask like, oh, did you know her previously? I'm like, no, I literally met her in like 2023. I think it was 2023. Yeah.
Dang.
That's amazing.
Last year we started actually dating because all my friends are like, you guys are always together, because we were doing it kind of like our mindset was more business orientated, because she was trying to go full time as an artist, and you know, I talk a lot, she doesn't. So when we go to conventions, I'm the one yapping to everybody, and she's kind of just like helping where she can and not being like super burnt out. But I was like, we're already doing this, like why not? You know, it's been a great ride. Sure. It's been a great relationship and experience so far. And it just so happens that we're interested in the same things, you know, so it really helps. Like motivation really helps. Yeah, for sure.
Well, congratulations. That's amazing.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
wow, that's awesome. What a great story. Yeah, having a shared interest is such a big thing. Like I've been on lots of dates here. So I live in Japan. And, you know, I've been on lots of dates where you just have nothing in common, and it's just kind of like, there's nothing going on here. This is not that interesting. But when you have someone with a similar interest, the passion between you just becomes really fun and exciting, and it's such a cool thing. So that's great, man. I'm happy for you. That's great.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
and taking a big step moving out to California, like good for you. That's awesome.
It's gonna be a new experience. There's a lot of people there, and your highways and roads over there are so big. I have like 3 lanes. I have 3 lanes here, and there's like more than 3 there. So I gotta just learn how to do that when I go out there. But
That's
it is what
funny.
it is, for sure.
So,
Yeah, I mean, I've lived in big cities and little towns. I'm much more a little town kind of guy.
That's how I am.
But yeah, but there are opportunities you can't find in the little town. So there is,
That's also
there's
fair.
a give and take. Yeah.
sure.
Sorry, Graham, I didn't mean to cut you off. You're going to say something.
Not at all. No problem. Yeah, I was wondering, you had visited Japan. I'm kind of curious about what the purpose of your trip was and how long you were there. Japan is an important thing in my heart. I've always wanted to live in Japan since I was in high school, and I finally moved out now 7 years ago, and I don't have any interest in leaving. I love Japan. I'm just like obsessed. When I got to Japan, people warned me beforehand of like, you're going to get to Japan and you're going to think it's just utopia and you're going to get hit in reality and it's not going to be as good as you think. It was better. Okay, it was better.
It was better.
It was better than I could have possibly imagined. I love being in Japan so much. It's my favorite place. It's not perfect.
Fair.
I won't pretend that it is, but the people and the culture and the language and the food and everything is just so amazing. I spend most of my time inside because I'm just like that, and I just spend all the time on the computer. But it's amazing, and I love being here. So I'm so curious about your trip to Japan and what you thought and whatnot.
So I've been to Japan previously, a long time ago, like 2016 or something.
Okay.
But we actually went because Neko got accepted to Comiket for C105. So she was a vendor that was selling artwork over there.
No way.
So it was a business trip, I guess you could say, but we turned it into a 2-week vacation. We stayed in Aki for the 2 weeks, and we were like
amazing.
traveling around the general area. We're weebs, so like we were hitting up all the like we hit up the Nikke Mega Store, we hit up like Animate, we're going to all the like the back alley places that sold secondhand stuff. We were freaking out over it, enjoying the food, enjoying like the culture there. We went out to like a few different places, like Harajuku we went to. We wanted to go to Nara and Osaka, but we didn't have time. We're actually planning a trip this year because when we were there, we kind of were just doing the full anime experience, and we're like, there's so much else that we could have seen and done, but we were just so happy to be there, you know?
Yep.
And Comiket was like a great experience, but it's way too many people for us to do it again. I think it's the biggest convention in the world, I think.
I wouldn't
And that's
it's
the like fan-made comics, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Just make
So it's all
George,
the
that's-
fan art and everything. Yeah. There's also like official people that are there too. So like Nikke had an official booth, Blue Archive did.
Oh, wow.
Brown
Yeah.
Dust did. Genshin did. I think there were like 400,000 people there at that event. So
That's
we
huge.
were
It's insane.
we were definitely out of our element, and we couldn't speak the language. So we were really out of our element
Yeah.
over there too. But it was a fun experience. That's the main reason why we went. She stayed with me in Hawaii for a bit before we went there, so it was kind of like a double vacation for her. And we
Dang.
just enjoyed our time while we were there. You know, we got to go visit some of those like cafes, like the cat cafes, capybara cafes, like the owl cafes. You know, we
Yeah.
got to do all the
That's
stuff
cool.
that's not available in the States. We got to
Nice.
enjoy like good, authentic Japanese cuisine when we were there too. And we got to go with like a friend too. So it wasn't just us. We were there with one of our friends that we met on Nikke. So we kind of did like a group trip together.
What?
So it's really fun. We did like the whole trip where it was like anime centric. Now we want to go back to kind of go more for the culture, I guess
Sure.
you could say. Yeah, so it
100%.
was overall a good time, but the biggest ouchie is like the flight, you know? So the flight is like the big thing.
Oh yeah.
But then
I
the
bet.
conversion rates aren't too bad. And then once we get there, you don't think about your bank account till you leave. So it's, you know, you just enjoy your time. You enjoy your time
Yeah.
while you're there. But it's always
100%.
great going to Japan. Being in Hawaii, a lot of people just compare cultures just because, you know, we're kind of a hop, skip, and a jump away. So it's always nice to just go there, and when they ask where you're from, you say you're from Hawaii, and they're like, "Oh, that's super cool."
They
And then
love
we'll just
that.
like have a
Nice.
conversation. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. I like talking to people about their culture and like just
Same.
learning more about them. So I
Yeah.
just find Japan to be a very friendly and open place. So I also would like to live there. I don't think it's in the cards right now, but maybe in the future, maybe, maybe,
Well,
we can move there for a
If
little
you
bit.
ever need advice or support, you just hit me up and I'll
I
I'll
know
get
who
you
to go
covered.
to.
That's
Yes.
Appreciate
Yes.
that
right. Of course.
for sure.
Wow. Yes, we want to get George over to Japan. Every year we have a conversation about it, and every year George is
it's
like,
going to happen. I know it will. It's just there's just so much going on right now in this stage of life that even taking a week off or whatever is, it just depends. But it will happen. I know for a fact it will. I really want to go to Japan. I love the Japanese culture, the little bit that I know of it. The cuisine. Unfortunately, I'm allergic to shellfish. So that's going to be an issue. But I mean, pork and chicken and beef and lamb and whatever else there may be, dude. I'm a guzzler, man. I will eat anything and everything in front of me.
I'm the opposite.
I'm a bit of a glutton in that regard. But
once you go there, once you have ramen in Japan, like authentic ramen, udon, soba, you'll never go back. Like I come home and I'm like, this is, you can tell the difference. I'm spoiled now, and it's not like expensive either. Like we go out and we hang out till like 1 or 2 in the morning in Aki or like near the area, and there'd be like these small little mom and pop shops that are like 500 to 1,000 yen for a bowl of ramen, and I would just like be so happy because over here you go to like Taco Bell, it's like $20 if you want to grab a meal, so it's like you get your real bang for your buck over there, and it's just like people are so nice too. Like you get the atmosphere experience, you get the food experience there, and especially if it's your first time. I mean, my advice, I know Graham has been there for a while, but like I guess as a tourist, I could say like, just go and have a good time. Like if you want to go for the culture, just research beforehand. If you want to go and eat food, hey, that's everybody. Go and eat food. Like
that's right.
Just enjoy your time there for real. Like it's such a great experience. Like from landing in the airport to leaving again. Like even the airport experience isn't bad because some airports are really like nasty in terms of like just how cluttered they are or whatnot. But like even if you don't speak Japanese, like Tokyo is relatively English speaking now. So nice. You'll be pretty fine.
Nice
when you go in.
Yeah.
And you got like translate on phones now too. Like technology has really gone a long way with that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I used to live, I'm still not super far, but I go less often now, but near a ramen shop owned by a Japanese family, and like it's fantastic. I'm sure when you got like fresh ingredients it's even better, but ramen is so good. Freaking love it.
All right, well, to transition us from Japan to umamusume, which isn't that far, I have to ask.
Full circle.
Yes, we've come full circle now. I have to ask Pyrrhixz, of course, being the weeb here. George isn't going to ask this question, so I've got to be the one that asks it. Who is, and you know what? I'm going to extend this over to Nikke a little bit too. Who is your favorite umamusume, and who is your favorite Nikke character?
They're very similar. They're literally so Snow White is my favorite Nikke character.
Okay,
the one that's like right behind me.
Right there.
Oguri Cap is my favorite Uma, like hands down Oguri Cap. They both love to eat. They're both stoic. Like they both are very driven by their own motives.
Did
I mention they both eat a lot? So yeah, that's the two characters I enjoy the most.
That's right. Let's go.
I knew nothing about Oguri Cap when I initially took a liking to her. When we were in Japan, Neko was pointing out they had like a display of all the Uma figurines. I don't know if you've seen like the prize figures that they have, but it was all the characters that are pretty much in the game available. And I was like, oh, that one looks pretty cool. And she was like, oh, of course you pick Oguri. And I was like, why? And she explains like how Oguri is similar to Snow. And I was like, I guess the allegations, I can never escape them.
That's crazy. What?
But yeah, no, as I learned more about like Oguri Cap's story, it's so intricate. And like, again, the history writes the best stories.
It really does.
I fell in love with that. And then Cinderella Grey was right around the corner, so I was like, oh, I gotta jump in. Like Uma had just come out in Global not so long after that. I was like, I gotta jump in on this. Yeah, it's Oguri Cap and Snow White are my two faves.
Okay.
Nice.
Very good. Nice. Very good. It's not a question that the normie will ask. Go ahead, George. You have a normie question?
Well, I was going to ask something similar, actually, because it sounds like you've watched all of umamusume. And I, from what you just said, I think I know the answer, but I want to confirm. Which is your favorite season?
From the base 3, or are we including like the OVAs and the spin-offs? And
the whole thing, the whole shebang.
Oh, it's not Sin Gray. It's not Sin Gray.
It's not Cinderella Grey.
It's not Sin Gray.
Okay.
Really?
Beginning of a New Era it has a special place in my heart because Beginning of a New Era is such like a personal story to me. I know you guys haven't watched it, but when you go through it, it's like one of those really hardcore life lessons that you can take away from the like this hour and a half runtime. And it was the first time the side games really elevated their animation quality too. It's such like it's such a great visual display, like great story writing. And also, like, if you're familiar with the horses that are involved, or the Umas involved, like Manhattan Cafe, Agnes Tachyon, and you know the history of them, the subtleties that Umamusume gives to them for people that are aware of their history is it's so great. You can watch that movie like 4 or 5 times and pick up different nuances that you missed.
Wow.
In the story. But yeah, Cinderella Grey is like a close second. I really enjoy Sin Grey. But just because I consumed Beginning of a New Era beforehand, and it really elevated my expectations watching Road to the Top and then going into Sin Grey after that, you know, I have to give it credit where credit's due. Like, I absolutely love Beginning of a New Era.
Dang.
It is a great story. It is a great story.
Wow,
well, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I've heard everyone talk about Cinderella Grey and whatnot, and kind of sing its praises, and I thought, okay, well, we got to get through this other stuff to then get to the really good stuff. But that totally changes my perspective here. I think the stuff that we're gonna get to, the OVAs and Road, is gonna be much more interesting and enjoyable than I would have initially anticipated. So that's pretty interesting to hear.
Yeah,
I know people have. Oh, go ahead, George.
Well, I was just gonna say real quick, like I've gotten used to like OVAs almost being filler. Not all of them, but like slightly. So interesting. Okay. Yeah. Very good.
If
very
you guys
exciting.
watch Beginning of a New Era, I would suggest watching Road to the Top first and then Beginning of a New Era, because it ties together.
Okay.
It's the transition from one generation to another generation in horse racing history in Japan. So it kind of like if you guys know TM Opera, it kind of like bridges the start of the Uma's career into the ending of her career in Beginning of a New Era, but you also follow a different set of characters as well in that storyline too. So it comes full circle. It's a beautifully told story in like under 3 hours. It's like 3 episodes in Road to the Top, and then it's an hour and a half in Beginning of a New Era.
Okay.
So it's super short. Super short.
Oh, now I'm excited. Dang it. Oh man. We're watching in our Thursday slots where we're doing Uma right now. We've got the 2 slots. So we're watching Bunny Girl Senpai right now, and a bunch of live shows. So we're gone from 2 videos. I guess this time of recording, I don't think anyone really knows this, so this is like kind of a spoiler for the
spoilers.
Yeah.
Surprise!
Spoilers. Exactly.
Yeah, we're going from 2 episodes of video to 1 because we're doing so much right now and schedules are tight. But
Understandable.
Yeah. But man, that makes me really excited and sad that we're not going to get to it sooner. So that's pretty cool. Wow.
But thankfully, and maybe not thankfully, but whatever. Bunny Girl Senpai is a short anime. It's like only 12 episodes. So it's not at least one of those like 24, 25 episode anime. It'll be quick.
And it's good. It's very good.
It's good. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so I have to ask, actually, now bringing us back to Umamusume and Nikke and your YouTube channel. You've been doing YouTube for quite a while. I've noticed that through our conversation and through your content, you're a little bit more on the Nikke side than you are on the Umamusume side. Is that kind of a correct assessment?
It's like 50-50. It's just the Uma videos take so long to make.
Okay.
Because they're grounded in real life history. So for instance, like the last 2.5 months, I've been scripting a video on Mr. CB. It's like 120 pages long. It's going to be like a 2.5 hour video.
Jeez.
Wow.
And like it's very hard to stay focused on it because it becomes like an insurmountable task, you know?
Right.
So I've taken a break from it a couple times, but I would love, in a perfect world, I'd love to do more Uma content, but I also want to make videos that are appropriate based on the history that I'm relaying to people. I don't want to like cut corners. I don't want to just like summarize it. I want to give like the full raw history of these, not just like the horses, but also the trainers, the jockeys, like everybody involved. And right now it's more Nikke heavy just because it's easier for me to do like a 10-minute lore video and write a script in like an hour and then just like talk about, for lack of better terms, a bunch of bullshit and just post it. You know, like that's kind of like my filler content because like the chapter summaries take a long time to script as well. They're like a 2-week process.
I'm sure.
Uma videos I'm probably going to do like once a month just because the characters I want to cover have very intricate history. After CB, it's going to be Oguri Cap. After Oguri Cap, it's Tamamo Cross, and they have like a ton of history to go through. I'm privileged enough to be in contact with a few people that are affiliated with like, or ex-affiliate, I guess you could say. They used to be part of like horse racing press in Japan. So they give me a lot of information that I can cross-reference, and the more they uncover, I'm like, oh my god, I have to include this. Like I have it, I have the scripted, but like this is such good information, you know, that I can't pass it up. But the long answer to that is yes, it's more Nikke right now, but I would love to get to a point, whether it be like as a full-time content creator or just like sustained enough on the channel to maybe hire somebody to help offload the editing when it comes to the video's production. I would love to make like 2 or 3 Uma videos a month that are like documentary style, but I just don't have the capacity to do it right now.
Right.
But I would love to in the future. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that kind of answers my question. I was going to have a follow-up question of like, where do you see your channel evolving over time? But you kind of described it perfectly. Like, because I was going to ask like, well, if your umamusume content changed, where, you know, if you made it shorter form, then maybe you could do more. But as you said, like you're interested in really displaying the full breadth of the characters and the horses that you're covering. So you want to make sure you're following up on that. So that's perfect. That answers my other question too. That's very interesting. Yeah, it's YouTube's a tough game sometimes. There's a lot that goes into it. The scripting and the video editing and all that stuff, and you don't. There's an element of perfectionism to it. You want to make sure everything is just right, and you know you got to pull back a little bit so you don't waste too much time on something small, right? So it's tough. Yeah, we were doing, we've done a game channel. I don't know if you may have seen, but we were doing a game channel before this. And it's still there, technically. Like, anything could happen. Every year we cover the Tokyo Game Show at least. We do that live. So hopefully next
TGS,
year.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully this
Very
next
cool.
year, or I guess this year, we'll be getting George out. Maybe. You never know.
We'll see. It's a little far to confirm, but we'll see.
Nikke's always there, by the way. Nikke's always there.
That's true. That's true. They have some pretty great booths. So yeah, interesting. Very interesting. I do want to ask one more question. George, you probably have another question. I'm hogging the time here.
Go ahead. You're good.
I want to know, this is a normie question, so maybe something George might actually ask. But I want to know who Pyrrhixz is outside of YouTube. Like interests, or, you know, the things that you like to do, just a little bit more about Pyrrhixz, the man, the myth, the legend, you could say.
The man, the myth, the legend. So just like hobbies, like outside of
like what outside of YouTube, what do you find yourself interested in or doing, or is YouTube kind of like your everything?
So because we're doing a lot of traveling for conventions and events for the most part, when I'm not doing YouTube videos, we actually plan IRL events that we host, Neko and myself. Like we're gonna host one in San Francisco in April.
Oh,
so a lot of what we do outside of our content creation is planning like community-driven events, or planning like what we're gonna do for conventions, ordering stock for them, stuff like that.
Nice.
Our big thing is we're both passionate about both Nikke and Uma. And we have the privilege of talking to like the voice actors from Nikke, so we want to bring them to events to have them meet the community. So a lot of it is like very business correspondent, I guess you could say. But we enjoy it. Doesn't feel like work the same way that YouTube does, because it's kind of like you get to see a puzzle slowly being put together, you know, and like we get to have this very unique position where we're able to not just bring happiness to ourselves in the Nikke community, but like to a bunch of other people. But other than that, like when I'm home here, it's like the normal stuff that you hear from somebody that lives in Hawaii. It's like I like to go fishing, to the beach. I like to hang out with friends for the most part. A lot of people can tell you that I'm very much an indoor cat, I guess you could say. If you meet me at a convention, people will say the complete opposite, but that's because I have to be on when I'm at cons. But for the most part, like I'm just chilling at home. Like I chill at home for the most part. I'll go out and fish from time to time with like my friends or family. I just went out with my friends the other night to go have Korean barbecue. So like they'll drag me out of the house from time to time. But content creation, because it's like, it's not a job, so to say. I would love for this to be full time, but I feel like my channel has turned into something more of a passion project. And I think it's a very unique position to be in, because everything that I'm covering are things that I genuinely enjoy talking about, discussing, or doing. And I think it's very hard to find a niche that fits you for that, and also has a community that can actively build up from there to support your content. So I feel very thankful for that, because I tried doing it a couple times. Like And YouTube was a very unforgiving mistress when I tried to do it in like high school and college, like my early college years.
For
but
sure.
yeah, I mean, I'm at like 50,000 subscribers right now. 100K is the ultimate goal. Getting that play button's the ultimate goal. So
Deserved. Your videos are great. We've only seen a couple, but they're very, very well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can totally relate to that. I'm a hobbit, man. I love to stay home. I love to eat. I love the woods. That is one thing, maybe not fully right. Like I love hiking. There's something weird and yet enjoyable about seeing a mountain and just being like, bro, I think I can get to the top of that. I think if I can do it.
That's such a George thing to say. Oh my gosh.
Some of them are much harder than others, and there have been a couple times where I'm like, bro, this is a mistake, but I am already in too deep, and I must get to the top.
I know that feeling. Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yes. But speaking of the videos and the stuff you enjoy doing, I did want to ask, what is your favorite video that you've done where you're just like, even if it wasn't the most watched, where you're just like, this was it. This was me at my peak. I researched everything great. The narration was on point. The editing, do you have a video that you look back on and you're just like, I'm proud of this one?
So I'll do one for Nikke and one for Uma, because it's like okay. So on my channel, there's a video covering a character named Oswald on Nikke. And I was actually doing a subathon when I played through that story, like that event that came out. It was the 2nd year anniversary. It was called Old Tales. And I remember finishing the story on stream, and I was like, I need to immediately script. That's the only time I've ever ended a stream, scripted, edited, and posted it the next morning, and I was completely content with the entire, with everything that I made for it. That video went on to win one of the content creator competitions for the 2nd anniversary block for Nikke.
Congrats! That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's something I feel like I'll never have that motivate. When you have the spark for something, you don't question what you're doing, because you're your own worst critic when it comes to making content.
Yeah,
so that's like the only video that I put up for Nikke where I was 100% content with it. I was 100% proud of it, and I didn't think that it would get a decent amount of views. It did. Like my Nikke content is like 10 to 20,000 average. It hit like 70K or something like that. Whoa, so I was pretty proud of that at the time. And this was early. This is like baby Pyrrhixz days. Like when I was still navigating YouTube to see what I wanted to do.
Sure.
But ironically enough, for umamusume, it's my most recent video that I put out. It was on Aston Machon, and it's just because it's people that make a lot of umamusume content. I don't know if you guys have seen Yang with Augie or Yomi Glazer or other people that do documentary based videos.
Tiny amount. Yeah.
Tiny bit. So for a lot of us, when the game came out, we were covering the very common Umas that were in the main launch character set, But I wanted to do characters that I thought were also interesting, and I like the Machon video because it's a character that's not going to come to global for years, but the story is so good. Still in Love is a close second, but I just feel so happy with the fact that I can make this longer formatted video on an Uma that people don't know, and there's just interest in watching it to see the history of the horse.
Right.
So Aston Machon is I think it's my biggest Uma video right now. It's 300,000 views or something like that.
Wow.
So
it's really good.
Yeah, it's a very big video, and I'm very happy it's not a gold ship video or so a video covering a goofy story or whatever.
Right. Something known, some known quantity that would pull in views. Yeah. Right. Okay.
And so what was it again for Nikke? It was Oswald. I'm gonna write this down. Oswald.
Oh,
George,
I can give you the title.
We're in a video. You can literally look back at any time.
I can just look it up. Yeah, true.
So the title for the Oswald video is Oswald, the Hero of Humanity, and then the title for the Aston Machon video is Please Remember This Umamusume. So
okay. I don't know if I'll watch the Uma one, just because maybe there might be some spoilers of stuff covered in the future. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe if this is a not very well known.
There's
no.
None.
Okay.
There's none.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Then we'll give it a shot. Maybe we'll watch it on the stream or something.
Sure.
Okay.
I will have Sketchy spam like my DMs, because like so another thing that I've been doing when I do Uma content is I'm not used to people reacting to my content. I don't like the way I sound personally. Again, like your own worst critic.
Oh,
so
you
I
sound
don't like
fine
the
to
way
me.
that I narrate.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, but when people started reacting to my content, I was kind of like embarrassed a little bit because I was like, oh, there's so much stuff I can fix, and that was a motivating factor to deliver better content with videos that come out in the future. Because again, like my first, I think you guys watched like Silent Suzuka. I hate that video. Tokai Tale, I hate that video. I don't like those videos.
They were so good.
It's because so for Silent Suzuka, just to give you guys a little bit more context, I don't put this in the video, but Yutaka Take, who was the jockey for Suzuka, when he passed away, the IRL horse, he never drinks normally, but he got so drunk the night that he learned that Suzuka passed because of the grief and mourning that he was experiencing with that horse passing away. And that's like such a key thing that I didn't put into the video. And I'm like, again, like horse racing is so enjoyable to research because with every article that you find, there's like a different narrative that gets displayed. So I feel like that was such a gut punch that wasn't in the video that I could have included. And then with Tokai Teo, it's more of a personal thing. I kept saying Tokyo Yunshun instead of Yushun, and I just wanted to kick myself because I didn't. It was early umamusume, so I was like, I got to make videos on popular horses. But like reactions like your guys are what motivate me to kind of like deliver the best that I can. Just so that when you're consuming the content, it's very like straightforward, you know, like you don't have any questions about it. It's like you're engaged. I want it to be kind of like you're listening to an audiobook if you're just going about your day.
Sure. Yeah. 100%.
So again, like I appreciate you guys reacting to the content and Sketchy for like randomly messaging me while I was like gaming on Helldivers with my friends. Like we were playing Helldivers and I was like, wait, I need to leave. I was like, I need to leave.
Gosh.
Just like coming to your guys.
That's amazing.
That's crazy. Well, first of all, Helldivers is awesome, so that's great. Sorry to pull you away from that. That's amazing.
No. It was great watching you guys. Again, like this dynamic seems like so simple when you think about it, but I've never seen like this duo happen like in anything I've consumed before, you know? So it's such like, well, it's not the fact that it's just like we've been normie. It's also the fact that like you guys both clearly enjoy what you're doing. So there's like another layer to the content. You can see it's like genuine, you know?
Yeah.
And like that's what I enjoy watching, which is why I think Sketchy said it on his video too. Like he's just chasing what he didn't have as a kid, making content for people to be like accessible. And I feel the same way about YouTube. Like you need to do videos on things that you genuinely enjoy because the product will be a lot better than just I want to make money off ad revenue, so I'm going to cover whatever. That's why I don't do YouTube shorts. Like they're easy to do, but I feel like I can't put on a front of being like high energy for a minute, you know? I feel it's like very, for me personally, like it works for other people, but for me personally, it seems like very disingenuous to my community. So I kind of like keep it restrained to what they're used to, you know? But yeah, no, when I watch a lot of React content to my stuff, and there's only a few that I keep up with, so I do like stalk your channel, and I kind of look at what you guys do.
Bro, that's such a compliment. I don't even know what to say to that. Like I feel
freaking out.
Like I mean, you do so much work, and you go
the feeling is mutual.
hard.
Like the feeling is mutual. Like again, I love talking to people that are like, for instance, the nikke questions you asked. You guys don't know anything about the game, but there's like a clear interest to know about it. And I love that. You know, I love being able to talk to people where I feel like I'm not just talking to a brick wall, you know, and it's like, here's my answer. And it's like, all right, next on the agenda.
Good.
So
Next question.
It genuinely feels great. Yeah. It feels great to be able to just like talk about things that not only I enjoy, but things that you guys are also interested in. Like, I think it's a great format you guys have for this interview series as well.
Oh, well, thank you. That's something. Dissecting stories is something I don't think I'll ever get bored of. And, you know, we're presenting it in this reaction format, and it is a reaction, but the more enjoyable part is like a lot of the times, like unless it's like an extremely fire episode, which there are a lot of, is the discussion afterwards with Graham, where we're kind of like, you know, going back and forth, like his thoughts, my thoughts, and just kind of dissecting the stuff. And again, like I said in the beginning, part of me will always feel silly that I'm doing that, but it really is enjoyable. And it's, I don't think that'll ever get boring.
I mean, we stretched like an upcoming one episode of Bunny Girl Senpai from like the 20-minute runtime to like this 1 hour freaking video where we're dissecting the hair length and color and framing of the characters and like, who is this? What is that? And we're just like, I was like, bro, what are we doing with our lives? This is ridiculous. But it's so fun. And like George and I are just so unabashedly genuine, and like we just will not make videos about things that we're not interested in. It has to be genuine. There's no fakery here. It just can't be. Like we refuse on principle and on our own self-respect that we just won't do it any other way. And it results in very exceptionally slow growth. But that's just the way it has to be because we don't want growth any other way. It just wouldn't be the same for us. So yeah, 100%. I appreciate all.
It was the.
It's if I could just say one final thing. It's so gratifying, I guess, to feel that within ourselves and to do it. But then to hear people say like they can see it, it's almost shocking. It's almost like you can. Like, oh, that's weird. Like you could see that because like we feel that and it's a feeling that we have. And so it's interesting that people can experience the thing that we're delivering and then say it out loud. It's like, oh, how did you know that? Like, what the heck? That's so weird that you knew that we were doing this because that's what we're doing. Like, what? So yeah, it's I appreciate those kind words. It's very nice.
No, of course. And I guess like the big thing was when I first popped into your guys' stream, I think you were, did you watch Suzuka or Teo first? I can't remember. I think you watched Suzuka first and it was Teo after.
Yes,
it was one
because we wanted to follow the seasons.
Yeah. For the videos, because I think when I popped in, you guys were on the tail end of Suzuka and you guys were having a discussion about like the jockeys and everything. And then you went into the Teo video and then you guys started discussing like, oh, these are recurring names. And I was like, this is so cool. They're like they're learning if this is so cool. And like when I popped in too, I was like, holy, you guys are popping off with like I think it was what 300 people, 200 people.
Yeah,
at that time. And like at first I was like, yo, what are they doing? Like this is such good numbers. And I was watching, I was telling Sketchy, I was like, these guys are like genuinely entertaining. Like this is super just chill to watch.
I'm literally dying, Pyrrhixz. You have no idea.
What I tell people like. I'm not like super into like I appreciate it, but like I don't like to put myself on a pedestal when it comes to like content creation. If no matter like the size of the space that you're creating in, I don't care as long as like you're into what you're doing. You know, like
100%.
I have friends that have more following than I do. I have friends that have less following than I do, but like we all enjoy like either Nikke or Uma, so I don't really care. You know, like it's nice. It was just so cool to see such a different dynamic in reaction content, and like you said, the discussion is really what piqued my interest and why I was like looking at your channel profusely to see if you reacted to anything else. You know, and I was like, there's a few key videos that I'm waiting to see just because, again, the stories are very, very good. A lot of my later content is a content that I'm more proud of. So like Symboli Rudolph, Still in Love. I kind of chuckle when I listen to Sketchy's video because you guys don't know Cesario, but I did a video on Cesario. So that's also a great story. There's no spoilers for umamusume, the anime, but it's a story that's in the video game, so it's in the gacha.
Okay,
yeah, so that's kind of like where you'll experience that. But it was just great to see you guys kind of like taking this blind plunge into horse racing.
We really did.
That's really what it was. Yeah,
I'm not as like knowledgeable as like Sketchy is, for example, but we have the same passion of like seeing people enter the space is just genuinely cool to us. And again, like I can see myself as like another umamusume fan. You know, I also look up to people that are in the space or in the community. You know, we also like I get starstruck by certain people that I talk to. But again, like at the end of the day, we're just a bunch of people that enjoy common media, which I think is super cool for sure. Actually, I wanted to do the one question that I wanted to ask George and like
go
for you too, Graham.
Yes, of
course.
Based on what you guys have seen in umamusume, whether it been like reaction to my content or other content that you've seen, or like the anime series, which Uma's story is the most impactful to you that you've seen so far?
Ooh, that is a great question. So I feel like based on our conversation with Sketchy that the answer to this question is going to change after we watch Cinderella Grey, because the underdog story, bro, I eat that up. I think that like in almost every story across every genre, across everything, every medium, The underdog just gets me. I don't know if I'm going to cry in this one. I don't have a version to like not crying. It's usually very hard to get me to cry when it's something like sad. If it's something like incredibly hype, the courageous last stand, the frickin' you bow to no one scene at the end of Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
Bro, I bawl like a baby every frickin' time. I've seen Lord of the Rings now like 15, 20 times, and it does not fail to freaking get me to cry, man. There's something about that, right? Like the small, insignificant creature did their best in the quiet and finally gets the recognition they deserve. Like that kind of stuff, bro. It freaking gets me. So, pinning that aside, because we haven't seen Cinderella Grey, I feel like Tokai Teo has a lot of those similar elements. She didn't give, or I guess he, right, she or he, depending on Horse or Uma, didn't give up, had that like grit, and just for the love of the game, just went and did it and just left everything on the table. I feel like that is, I honestly, again, I'm feeling silly saying this about a horse girl anime, but I find it inspiring, right, that like something like that would be presented to me. And I get this like motivation, like IRL motivation watching stuff like that. I'm like, bro, if Tokai Teo can do it, I can do it too. Again, feels super silly, but it's legit.
Have you ever said that to yourself or thought it in your mind? Or like, if Tokai Teo can do this, then I can do that? Is that a real thing or is this an example?
It's a feeling, right? It's not like a thing that I've said to myself. Graham knows. So the first anime he introduced to me was Attack on Titan. This whole dissecting of story, bro, I almost wish the channel existed then, because we'd watch an episode. It would be like 2 or 3 hours later, and I'm like, bro, I gotta go to bed. We gotta stop this. And Graham be like, well, look at this frame though, bro. What do you think this means?
I'm found like, this in this episode, George. We have to talk more. Our videos would literally be one episode to 6 hours of conversation, guaranteed.
Like, that's
joke. Amazing. I love that. I love that.
It's wild. And like the Aaron's speech, or not Aaron, sorry, Erwin's speech and Aaron lifting the stone, both of those, bro, they freaking get me.
And the Aaron being still alive in season 1, that was another one.
Yes, that one really got me too. Yeah, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. But yes,
2014 spoiler. 2014.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
About the most popular anime that everyone's seen already. So.
Yes, I know. But when he lifts the stone, I literally will watch that when I'm about to do squats. I'm like, all right, bro, Aaron lifted the freaking incredibly heavy stone. You can lift the bar right now. You can put more weight. You can do this, right? I literally will watch it. And sometimes Graham just randomly will get a message from me and it'll be just the video and like fire emojis or like me going, let's go or whatever, right? And he knows, all right, awesome. George is doing squats right now.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And it's the opposite from me, because randomly George will get like a GIF or a video of like Felix or Ferris from ReZero, or just like some cute characters in an anime that are just super moe or whatever, and George is like, what is wrong with you? Like, what is this? This is the worst thing ever. And it's just, send back. That's how it goes. No. We're just opposites in that way. And like the first time, I'll tell you a funny little story. The first time we watched Attack on Titan, it was George, his then girlfriend, now wife, and 2 other people. Yeah, pretty great.
Thank you.
And we were sitting there in my room. I think it was George and I. We were sharing a room at the time, in college. And we're all like huddled up to this monitor. We had these bean bags and everything. Everyone's just chilling out. I had finally convinced these people to watch this freaking anime. It took forever, but I was like, please, you got to watch it. This is different. So we watched the first like I said, that's what I said, because it's the 3 anime rules. You got to watch 3 episodes. After 3 episodes, then we'll know for sure. Now, I can't remember if this fell in within the 3, but we were watching. We were all into it. But George, we got to the part where Aaron was still alive, and he came out of the Titan for the first time, but we realized he's still alive, and that was him. George, literally, I've never seen this in my life from any other human being. George was like concentrated hype that he was literally like shaking in absolute elation. And he's like, pause it. He's like,
pause it right now. Pause it right now.
Yeah, he literally was like, you have to pause it. I can't. He's like, I've never seen a guy just like dude bro out and said, I can't even, in like the Valley Girl way. Just, I can't even. You got to pause it right now. It was hysterical.
I walked around the room literally just cheering, just like, yes, yeah.
Complete psychopath. It was incredible. I've never seen such a reaction, but I was just like, all right, this guy's pretty cool. That was sick.
All right, the hook hooked him. The hook hooked him.
100%.
The hook hooked me, bro. It was just like because I loved Aaron so much. Like, I love all versions of his character, you know, but then he was just this like in this dark, dreary world. This was this dude that was fueled by rage and revenge, but like somehow still managed to have this like hopeful side of him and all that stuff. I was like, bro, this is the kind of guy this world needs, man. Someone who's not going to take this sitting down. Let's freaking go. And then he like gets freaking eaten in episode like 3 or whatever. I'm just like,
oh, you were so mad.
No way. Like, I was pissed. I was like, bro, I'm not watching this. And then the next day I'm like, bro, we gotta keep watching this.
We're watching
it.
That's awesome.
Good times.
Yes,
good times.
It was awesome. So speaking of ReZero, because you brought it up.
Hold on. Wait, Pyrrhixz asked the question. You answered.
Sorry. Yes. Sorry. Long-winded answer here. You got to answer it as well.
We got way sidetracked. We just got too much into the hype.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'll make my answer very simple and straightforward. I also agree with George, and it's a little bit different than George. For me, it was the kind of misdirect. I don't know. They probably did it on purpose, but it was the misdirect of like painting Twin Turbo as this little cute gremlin character and just like being I fell for it, bro. She's so freaking cute. I didn't think she really had it in her. She was just like always talked big but always didn't really perform amazing. And then like I fell into the anime trope of like, well, this is just the cute gremlin character and you know, she's just there. It's just whatever. And it was the reveal of just her really freaking showing up for the frickin' race and doing the little twin turbo that could, and then Tokaido being my favorite character, and then like it all just like kind of came together, and I was just like, no way, like no way, and I literally freaking shed tears. It was just such a beautiful freaking moment. I couldn't believe it. I was genuinely shocked. Like I'm the type of guy, I love anime and anime girls, and so it's easy for me to kind of get into it, but I was into that in like a way that I could not expect on such a full spectrum from emotions to just like the beauty of it all and the storytelling and the expectations that they've kind of twisted now around on me. And it was like peak cinema is such a used term, but it really was. Like, it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. It's difficult to describe. Like, I could use a million words and not to describe the beautiful feelings I had. And it was just, and like, I'm a weeb. I get it. But like, and I get that it's just anime. Like, it's not lost on me. I'm not like too far gone. But like, it's incredible. It was really incredible the way that they were able to make such a beautiful story in that. So that by far is my favorite part of Umamusume so far. You never know what'll come next.
So far.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm hyped for Cinderella Grey. But ReZero, I didn't watch them because spoiler reasons. I don't know what they correlated to in the anime, but I did see on your channel that you had made some ReZero videos.
All right, here we go. Okay. The history on it. You want the history on that?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. I was originally a ReZero content creator. I made content when season 2 came out. My name was Holographic before. So my old channel name was Holographic. I started the Pyrrhixz channel doing lore recaps on ReZero. So I did that in college. I believe it was it was like right after COVID, like 2021 into 2022. Or I don't even think it was 2022. I think it was 2020 into 2021 or something like that. But I was making content, was really enjoying it, had the prospect of going full time, and then the good old channel strikes happened that like hit a bunch of anime YouTubers. I got 27 copyright strikes or something like that. My channel got nuked, so it was gone. And I was like, I'm done doing content. This is like bullshit. I was like, I spent a year and a half like cultivating a community. I really enjoyed the series. It permanently stained how I felt about ReZero. Because the people that struck me was it was cross warp, which is like Kadokawa's strong arm that they use to like go and reach out to anybody that's doing content. And Japan is very different in terms of like transformative content. So it's like a very gray moral area. So at the time I was like, I hate ReZero, I'm not doing it anymore. And my friends were like, you gotta keep doing content. And I was like, guys, I'm so fried. Like, it's so over.
Yeah.
So I started streaming on Twitch. That's when I started, like, I made the mistake of playing Genshin Impact. But I started gaming on Twitch. And the name Pyrrhixz is, like, derived. So it actually has, like, holographic was just me being edgy. It was, like, an Xbox gamertag generated whatever.
That
like,
sounds
nice.
like
I
Xbox,
thought it sounded cool.
Yeah.
So, like, Pyrrhixz is, like, more symbolic because it's not the Tupperware brand. It's not that. Okay, so...
I didn't
Is
even
there
know there was a
Tupperware?
Tupperware. Yeah,
I didn't
it's
know
called
that.
it's called Pyrrhixz. It's like Pyrrx. Yeah.
Oh,
So-
I think I've maybe seen that actually.
It's very
Okay.
popular. That's what my friends like make fun of me for and whatnot. It's like a recurring joke in my friend group.
Oh no.
But
nice.
I'm like a big dude that likes playing like Scrabble or like word games. Like we'll do anagrams for fun and whatnot. So
Okay.
like
Oh,
I was
wow.
thinking of a new name that I could rebrand to, and like the phrase Pyrrhic victory came to mind. It's like I don't know if you're familiar with that term, but it's like a victory attained
not.
with a loss that's more devastating than what you got from winning. So it's like you win
okay.
something, like you win a war, but like you lost so many people that it doesn't really matter.
Interesting.
So
what
it's
is
like
it
an
again?
older. It's called Pyrrhic victory. Yeah.
Pyrrhic
Victory.
victory.
I had no
So it's
idea.
Pyrrhic, Pyrrhic victory.
I
And
see.
then I just slapped that together with like Phoenix. It's like Pyrrhic victory, Phoenix, slapped it together, Pyrrhix. Because like I came back
Dang.
with like a second channel.
Oh,
But then I
that's
got my
cool.
channel
That
reinstated.
is so
Yeah, so
sick, actually. Wow.
Yeah.
yeah, the ReZero videos were like my very poor attempt of trying to hold on to that community that I built, but like
Sure.
they were all gone at that point for the most part. A few
Right.
people stuck around, but you know, it's just the way that it goes as a content creator. So for a very long time, my channel was like essentially dead for like 2 years. I wasn't uploading anything. I tried doing Genshin Impact stuff, but I wasn't a fan of like running around an entire like interactive map collecting books that gave me like one small paragraph to use. So
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just like enjoying my time streaming for a little bit. And then Nikke came out and I was like, holy shit, this is like awesome. So I started doing
Nice.
Nikke content.
Nice.
And then you can just see from there, it's like a bunch of different transformative content. But yeah, originally I started YouTube in like 2020. It was right after
Okay,
COVID.
cool.
My normal profession is like I do wedding photography and videography. So I
wow.
couldn't do that at
Okay.
the time. Yeah. So my
Sure,
job was
makes
like
sense.
very, very much underwater
Yeah.
because of COVID. So I was
bet.
like, I need something different to do. So I started out like all normal YouTubers do. I was recording like on my phone, like phone audio on voice memo, like editing
Nice.
on my phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it wasn't until like Nikke that I really kind of buckled down and tried to do different content that was like a bit more high effort. But yeah, it's funny you ask about. It's funny that you went to my channel and clicked oldest upload because
did.
I know it's
I
like it's
did.
at the bottom. It's at the bottom.
Yes,
but yeah,
that's literally what I did. I was just wondering, like, okay, well, how long has it been doing Nikke? That was my initial
No, that's valid. That's
motivation
valid.
for I wanted to find out.
Listen.
because yeah, I mean, we've been hit with the copyright strike stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's
very
not fun.
recently.
It's not
We
fun.
had,
27
like,
strikes
Uma.
is like, that's comically evil. Like, that's so many strikes.
Yeah.
That's like, I just
Yeah.
imagine in my mind's eye, I just imagine like some dude on the ground. He's got 27 swords in him. And it's like, bro, it's too much. It's like so unnecessary.
Well,
like,
Yeah, like for us, it was only
Yeah.
like what, like 10 or 11? It was something
That's
like that.
still a lot. That's
Well,
like
no,
still
we
an
got-
absurd number.
we got three
Oh, we got-
strikes, but it was on
but
several videos
Several
in
videos,
one strike.
yeah. So it was,
yeah.
it was like
Yeah.
most of season 2 got struck, but yeah, it was
Yes,
3 strikes
yes.
total. Yes,
And
yeah, yeah.
I
Was it
was,
for Umamusume?
this was for
Uma, yeah,
Umamusume.
Uma season
Yeah.
2.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
That's-
But we fought
yeah.
it, and we everything went away, and we're fine now, and screw those guys. But like everything
Yeah.
we do is so like the editing style that we do, and the way that we do our conversations, we make sure is in as much fair use as humanly
Oh no, it's
possible.
transformative. It's
Yeah,
100% transformative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
it's totally crazy. I was really glad, and I agree 100% with you. Kind of got burned out, and you just get a kind of a bad feeling from like an experience like that. I've played Final Fantasy 14. And I had some bad experiences with a guild and stuff that I was doing, a free company, and it just kind of squandered that game for years. Like I couldn't even think about the game without being upset. So I totally understand that perspective. And I was really glad when we had the umamusume stuff happen recently that we didn't have that kind of bad feeling. Like it was more of like indignation on this one company rather than 100%. Like the series. And it was like, well, frick this company. And like, I don't know, like I posted when everything was kind of said and done, I made a post on YouTube, and I posted Tokai Teo kind of doing like a peace sign, and I wrote in there like, we won and the Umas have won too. And it just kind of dawned on me of like, yeah, hell yeah, like we did this, like we've overcome this. And it kind of like, I didn't have any bad feelings at all. I was just like, yeah, we and the Umas, we freaking overcame this actually. So like, hell yeah, umamusume is awesome. So I can understand it's a difficult thing to overcome, and there's really nothing you could do about it to some degree, right? Sometimes things happen and you just kind of get soured.
It's not just the fact that, so the termination was like really bad, but I guess for those of the people listening that don't know, when you get terminated and reinstated, your discoverability is basically non-existent. You're at the bottom of like the search results for anything for the content to be pushed. So for a very long time, I was posting to like less than 100 people, basically. Yeah. So it only was with the umamusume that it kind of like got lifted, I guess you could say. Like I finally got my full reach reinstated. And I think, again, it's like I'm in a very unique position because Nikke is a great community and Uma's a great community. Yeah. So like they're both very supportive. So the channel's been like deleted like 4 times. So it's been hacked once and like copyright struck to oblivion 3 times. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I got hijacked by like one of those the crypto scam people that like turn your live stream on.
Bro, you have like YouTube battle scars, dude. This is crazy.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, but you're still going forward.
This was like recent. This was recent though. This was like when I released my Agnes Tachyon video. So this was like last June. Or August, rather. Last August, yeah. So it's a lot of like animosity. Again, like you said, it's not towards like umamusume, so to say, but it's like it's a very odd system that YouTube has with like copyright strikes and like people hijacking accounts. Yeah. Because it took me a whole day to like get in contact with somebody and be like, hey, this isn't me. You know, I'm not like botting my own channel. Like I'm not dumb. I don't know why. I would do that
sounds like a nightmare to deal with, dude.
Kidding.
But I mean, I got it back. I got it back. I kept making content. You know, the worst thing that you can do is like quit after something like that. I learned that the hard way. When
almost
I first
lets
got
them
terminated.
win, kind of feeling.
Yeah, no, for sure. And again, like if I stopped making content, I wouldn't have like met you guys. Wouldn't have met like other people in the Uma community. So I guess I view it as like a stepping stone. You know, if it happens again, like I know how to deal with it. But it's been a great ride. Other than that, just like building up the platform and making Uma content and just like having a good time, pulling my hair out, training like Ogre Cap or whatever it is I'm training in game. But yeah, I mean, it's just a fun time overall. Other than that, for sure.
That's great. 100%.
Nice. Well, are you excited for season 4?
Season 4 of ReZero?
Yes.
So I've read up to Arc 7. Arc 6 encompasses season 4. For me personally, season 3 was like my favorite arc. Then I read season 4 and I was like, this is amazing. This is incredible. So are you guys anime onlys?
Yes, we're anime only. Yeah, ReZero was actually like a big part of our interest in ReZero. It was one of the series that really popped off on our channel, helped us to grow a lot and whatnot on our Patreon and stuff. In the community, we really felt a lot of outpouring of excitement and love from the ReZero community, and we were super, super grateful to them. And we've had a similar experience with the umamusume, community as well. Sometimes you just hit these anime, and sometimes we anticipate it. Like I anticipated a little bit with umamusume, which is why we watched it around the global release time. But it was great that it happened. But with ReZero, I don't think we really anticipated the kind of outpouring that we would have and the kind of excitement behind it. It was really, really cool. So it's kind of it's got a special place in our heart on the channel. So we're really looking forward to the next season.
Yeah, ReZero is like a very small but dedicated community. I guess going back to what George asked, for season 4, my favorite character is Anastasia. So I love Anastasia Hoshin. She was like the person that I was rooting for to beat Emilia in the running for like royal candidate.
Oh, damn.
Interesting. Okay.
I was like, I didn't like Emilia or Rem in season 1 like whatsoever, but
Sure,
I
guess.
really got into the story just because, like Nikke, it's such a well established world. Like,
Yep.
Yes.
there's subtleties. Like,
Really
if you guys
deep.
have watched season 1, for example, like there's a subtlety of Ram killing Subaru when he's like, when the witch's miasma is on him, and like it's a mercy killing because Ram. Okay,
Yep.
you guys have read none of the light novel, right? Like none of it.
None of it. Yep.
Okay, so
anime.
like you know when like his legs get cut off and like Rem's like torturing him in the forest.
Yep.
So in the
Yes,
light
yeah.
novel, in the web novel, which is like the first iteration of the story, Rem plans to torture him for hours, like healing him and like smashing his legs.
Jeez,
So Ram
bro.
mercy kills him.
Freaking savage.
So I was like, I thought that was so like, I didn't know anything about that. That was so out of left field. The biggest thing that like is glossed over is season 2. Like season 2 is very condensed, and there's a lot more if you read the web novel. It's the longest arc in the entire story, and I love the whole trials and everything. That's why I was so into it. It's because like the chamber trials, and then just like the subplot with not Oswald, Roswald. Holy shit, Roswald, and like learning about all the different aspects of the world, and then Subaru like actually using Return by Death more strategically and not being afraid to kind of push limits. Again, he does that like in season 3 too. He gets better and better with it. Like season 1, I tell people was like the hardest to watch with Subaru because he's very, very cringe. Like I didn't like watching him. I
feel like I'm the only guy who didn't dislike Subaru in season 1.
Yeah, I like season 1. Season 1, it's like halfway through where, like, it's one of the few shows that we watch where I felt like physically like, oh, bro, the show's like over. Like this episode's over. I can't believe it. Like, what has he just gone through? Like, it was wild. It was when, and quick spoiler alert, I guess, skip ahead just a few seconds. But when he gets decapitated by the cat, what's his name now? I'm forgetting his name. Puck. Yes. Puck. Yeah. Like it was the kind of the culmination of that. And it was like, I guess the depth's not really culmination. He's like at the lowest of the low in that instance. And I'm just like, bro, how is he not like mentally broken right now? That was a wild thing to watch.
George was suffering at least a fraction as much as Subaru was. I could tell. It was crazy. Yeah.
Yes.
I think going like off people not liking Subaru, I think it's like understandable why he's acting the way he is. But I think it's because it's like we're supposed to be following from his viewpoint that we have that secondhand embarrassment. And like I'll be so real. I watched season 1 like over 20 times. The first 10 times I watched it, I could not watch the Royal Selection episode where like Emilia yells at him.
Yes.
I skipped that whole episode because I was like, this is so cringe. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But again, like it's good character writing because he gets better as he progresses through. Like season 1 Subaru is very different from season 2. Season 3, you see him utilize like just training himself to be more agile and adept to situations. He's more observant. He's less reliant on other people. And season 4, you're gonna love season 4. Season 4 is so
let's
it's so
freaking go,
good.
baby.
Yeah.
Like I know I say that I'm not into ReZero as much. I haven't read like Arc 8 or Arc 9, but Arc 6 is probably like it has one of my videos. You should not watch it in my channel. It's like the worst loop or something. It's like ReZero's worst loop. That's Arc 6 spoilers. But it has one of the worst, one of the most brutal deaths that Subaru goes through.
Oh, I don't like that.
Bro, he's gone through some pretty brutal ones already.
It's pretty brutal. It's pretty brutal. I put it up there to like, it's similar to the way I felt when like Betelgeuse was with Rem and like captures Rem and Subaru. It was like that same feeling of complete dread. It's like hopelessness, like complete hopelessness. But I don't know, like, again, like, we're talking about ReZero. I guess said I hated it, but we're discussing it, so I love it again magically. It's just, like, the atmosphere that I'm in.
Yeah,
so
it's understandable.
I'm down,
soured a bit.
But no, I hope to see your reactions to season 4. Like, season 4, when it comes out, is going to be another big thing. I also am friends with, I don't know if you guys know Echidna, but he does, like, ReZero content.
We've seen several of his videos.
Yeah. So when I was doing season 2 content, we talked pretty often just about, like, different stuff that come out. He was also like a very big lore guy. Same thing with C Tactics. He's another anime content creator.
Okay.
And we have like a little chat where we would like talk about ReZero lore and all this stuff because he was like the light novel reader and we were like the anime onlys. So we were kind of like speculating everything. But
so
like
cool.
other than the whole strikes, it was a really good time. I had a lot of fun in that community. I'll be tsundere and say that. I had fun. Even though I'm probably not doing it again. That content that ship has sailed. That ship has sailed.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe we'll reach out to Echidna. We'll see if in preparation of season 4 or something. We'll see.
I gotta ask. We gotta let George go because we're hitting our time limit here. But I gotta ask because I'm very curious. Back to the kind of connections you had with Nikke. How did you fall into these connections that you had? I'm so curious. This is such an interesting aspect of your
that's a
channel.
great question.
Oh, like the scenario writers and like all
scenario
that?
writers, and you said you had some voice actors as well. Was it?
Yes, yeah. So actually we do an interview series. Myself and Neko do an interview series on our channel where we talk to the English voice actors of the game. So like we recently got in contact. If I don't know if George has seen it, but for you, Graham, like we got into contact with Konata's English VA for Lucky Star.
Oh,
she's
I've not seen that.
She's in Nikke. Yeah. So
I had no idea. Lucky Star was like my first cutesy moe anime ever. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
So we kind of like go through different aspects or like avenues that we could get in contact with voice actors. This all started because I was streaming Wuthering Waves and the Soda English voice actor popped in and she was like, "Oh, cool gameplay." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I play Nikke." She's like, "Oh, I voice act in it." And I was like, "You're lying." And she sent me her credentials and I was like, "You want to do an interview?"
What?
So then we started that and then I started trying to contact more people. Neko started helping. And it got to a point where it reached the English vocal director. His name is Bill Black. And like, I have him, I can just like text him if I want to now. Like we're pretty like close.
No way, dude.
Good for you. That's awesome.
Yeah, he sends me like the Pyrrhixz memes with the Tupperware glasses and everything. Like he jokes around with me. But we've done over, I think like 27 interviews now with a bunch of people that have come on.
That's
so
incredible.
we're doing it like as constant as we can. For the director of the game, the scenario writer, it's because I recently did a collaboration with Nikke. My most recent upload is a sponsored video by them. So I was like really excited for that. And then the CEO of the game, or like I guess the creator of the game, was a contact that I got when we were doing the interview series. It was like another thing of like, I've seen you guys doing this, reached out and I was like, I'm dying. I love this game. I'm dying.
That's amazing. Good for
again,
you.
like that's why I say like I feel very privileged to have these people that I can talk to like bring to my community and kind of like do these interviews because again like it's very hard even to get in contact with like people that are normal content creators to like schedule stuff like this.
Sure.
So
100%.
It's very it's a lot of responsibility and I don't like thinking about it, so I just like making content and then thinking about it later. So
that's incredible.
But yeah, it's gotten to a point where we're again like offline events that's how we get the voice actors. We just ask them if we brought them on, and if they're down to show up, they're down to show up, and we all have a good time, So
that's amazing.
That's awesome.
That's absolutely incredible. What a wonderful story, dude. We when we were doing our game channel, we reviewed a game and then later after interviewed the indie developer who made a game called Dome Keeper.
That's cool.
It was
so cool.
It was the coolest thing ever.
Yes,
it was so awesome, dude. Oh
Talk
my
about
gosh.
being starstruck. I think we both were. The game was very good. I don't know if you heard of Dome Keeper.
Yeah,
I have not. I'll go check it out though for sure.
Yeah.
It's so good. I got so addicted to it for so long. Oh my gosh. But it was so good. Yeah, like I can only imagine, like you have all these like interesting connections with the game you're passionate about and stuff. So like I can only imagine. Like we interviewed the Dome Keeper developer and it was such an incredible experience. Like, and you've got Nikke here. If I interviewed like Miyazaki for Dark Souls, I probably would just die on the spot or something. Like, so I can understand. Like, that's so freaking sick, dude. That
would be awesome, though. That'd be so cool. And I feel like people are willing to do interviews like this if, like, again, you guys have passed the bar and exceeded it for like being passionate about this stuff. So, like,
thank you, man.
I feel like
Thank you.
if you send like references of like stuff like this, I don't see why the worst thing they can do is say no.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, when we came up with this whole concept, we were like, we don't even know if people will say yes or even respond to us. But like the worst we could do is start sending things. So when Sketchy was on and then he reached out to you, we were like, what if we asked them? They could be our first people. Like we kind of know them, I guess, right? So we're just like so grateful to you and Sketchy. for being on our humble little, I don't know, it's not really a podcast, it's like a hangout chat, whatever it is. But
I mean, yeah.
It's so nice of you guys to grace our tiny little channel with your presence of coming on and chatting with us. It's so cool. It's genuine. And like the bonus is like you guys are just such great people to just chat with, and it's so fun and stuff. So it's just so cool. Yeah. So I appreciate that a lot.
You can always tell.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say like the interview is only as good as the hosts who like run the show. So it's not just us. Like you guys are also great at keeping up the conversation and just keeping it like free form. Because again, like I work in the media profession, so I've been in interviews that are a lot more robotic, and it's a lot easier to just talk about things that are common interest and like we actually are passionate about. So again, big thank you to you guys too. And then sorry for cutting you off, George. Go ahead.
No, well, I literally was about to say just what you said, which is like it's so easy to talk to somebody who's clearly passionate about what they're doing, because then like it inspires the just genuine curiosity in me, and I'm sure in Graham as well. And so like it just kind of flows from there. If it was somebody who was, kind of just doing it for the paycheck or whatever, like I'm sure there'd be some interesting stuff to talk about too, but it's different. And like you can clearly tell, at least I can tell, I know Grant can tell, and I hope our audience can tell as well, that you're like really passionate about this. And
it's so clear.
You've sparked the curiosity of the Nikke story in me. I'll have to check out.
I look forward to it.
Yes,
okay,
I'll have
George,
to check out some of the stuff.
George isn't going to agree to this, but we're going to do it anyways. George, we got to get you playing Nikke for the first time on a stream at some point. That's how you got to experience the beginning of the story at least.
How long
I feel like the
is
both of you playing it. Chapter
1. How long is it gameplay wise?
If you play the tutorial, depending on how much you understand the gameplay mechanics, it should be anywhere from like 30 minutes to an hour.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's perfect.
Chapters don't start getting long until like chapter 24. Base campaign was up to chapter 16. So the chapters are very fast paced until that point. And it starts getting a bit longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm not
George.
going to say no right off the bat, because you've sparked an interest in the story in me. Will I keep it up? I find gotchas very hard to keep up with. I've tried a couple.
That's fair. That's perfectly fair.
Yeah, I've tried a couple. Maybe we'll try this one. Graham and I will discuss. I'm leaning towards, but I still gotta still just, sit with it for a moment.
At least, no, George, at least for the entertainment value, seeing George playing Nikke, gameplay and story-wise, is going to be hilarious, right? So you don't even have to keep up with it, George. Maybe you will, but playing it on a stream for the first time will be entertainment. Let's say that.
Listen, we don't have to maybe one of these days we will publicly for YouTube, Graham and I will rehash our 2D versus 3D conversation we had a long time ago. We have clashed about this before.
Yes,
if you guys ever end up doing it, I'll be free. I don't care what I'm doing. I'll be free.
Okay, we'll definitely let you know.
We'll need a referee, someone to mediate between in the situation. So yeah.
Oh, I'm the worst person for that. I'll just yap more. It's not the no. Intermediary is self-control. I don't have that.
Oh, yes. That's funny.
Well, we'll definitely hit you up.
Thank you. Appreciate
I won't
that.
say no.
Of course.
I got to sit on it. But maybe then I'll hold off at least on watching the videos until we do it.
Yeah.
And then probably finish with the videos that way. But I don't know, man. My interests are all over the place. I do like those gritty kind of grounded tales where they show the ugly face of the world and just, the dark side of humanity. And then I love like the fairy tale, the Narnia. Like I love the Lord of the Rings movie. But I also love the book, and I feel like the book is more fantastical. Like there is the darkness in it as well, but it's a lot lighter, and it focuses more on just like the heroic side of each character. Frodo is shown more wiser and all this stuff. And so like I like both. I like the grittiness, and then I like a character that's just good because that's just who they are, and the world won't blemish them. So I don't know, man. I like
going based off what you just said, I have two things I can suggest to you.
Okay.
So I can send you my video that I did that's like Nikke's story is phenomenal, and it doesn't spoil anything in the story, but it says why like I'm completely addicted and stuck playing this game until I'm 80. All right. So
Fair.
the second thing is I want you to imagine like if Lord of the Rings had all those aspects in the written form in the movie. And then just like that is the level of writing that I give Nikke. Like it is all there and it's complete glory. Like and the game
that is high praise.
Game will offer other avenues for you to get like information. Like there's a character bond stories, Lost Relics that I mentioned before. But if you don't play them, it'll come up in the story later on. So even if you skip over all that content, they'll tie up all the loose ends as you keep playing. For sure. But I'll send you some videos. Not to like self-plug, but I genuinely want you to try Nikke. Like Nikke's so cool. Like
I will watch him.
Yeah.
I will watch him. If you send it to me,
Appreciate
I will watch.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Well, I have like 500 more questions in the chamber, and so we got to do this again. Unfortunately, I'm
so
constrained
down
for time.
I'm so down. So down.
Perfect.
Yes.
Maybe after we watch a couple videos, we'll come back and we'll chat. Same after we watch some more Uma videos as well. We'll
looking
chat
forward to
about
those
them.
reactions too. Looking forward to those.
Yes,
Thank
awesome.
you.
Well, thank you,
course.
Pyrrhixz. Thank you so
Of
much
course.
for your time, for being willing to come and grace us with your presence, as Graham said. Is there anything you want to plug before we drop?
Yeah, sure. So I know that I haven't been posting a lot. So for the people that do follow my content, I am working on the Mr. CB video. It is so long. I am dying. It's going to get out, I want to say next month. I want to aim to get it done. And then, as I said before, after that, Oguri Cap and then Tamamo Cross in the future. For the people watching Nikke, I'm going to be doing the chapter summaries again in the future. And I guess, like, overall in general, if you're in the San Francisco area, April 18th and 19th, we'll be hosting our Nikke offline event. If you want to come meet the voice actors and just have a good time, we're paired up with Hotel Kabuki, and we're hosting at a Screensaver Cafe. So if you guys want to come and have cool drinks, meet Nikke fans, by all means, head over.
Nice.
By all means.
Awesome.
Maybe we can get Graham to fly in from Japan. Just kidding. Maybe.
I hate flying. I'm terrified. No way.
But yeah, that's about it for now.
Well-
Also, subscribe to these two right here. Subscribe to their channel. Get to 10K, please. I'm tired of looking at 5. Look at 10. 10,000. 10,000
At
subs.
I don't
At
know about
10K
that. We I don't know. We want
Pyrrhixz,
10K, Graham.
I'm sure maybe you know, but at 10K, we're going to be doing something very special. That's our milestone goal.
Oh.
And we're going to be having George watching Nekopera. So it's going to be a very fun time.
I'm so sorry. Good luck. I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry. George is going to have a great time. I
don't know about
unironically
that. We'll
love
see.
Nekopera.
We'll
I've
see.
actually watched the anime. It's actually so good. I eat moe stuff up like that, like nobody's business. So I'm going to have a great time. And then everyone else will have a great time watching George have a great time as well.
Great time.
So it's
Sure.
going to be great.
Sure.
I guess.
You know, Pyrrhixz,
go
if you're
ahead.
ever in Japan, absolutely hit me up. I'll, I'm happy to help you out in any way I can. So no problem.
Will do.
Yes.
I guess the last closing thing I'll say is genuinely, I love this interview. It was great.
Oh, thank you.
This has been
Pyrrhixz.
so fun. This
you're
is
too
why
nice.
I don't like the time constraints of like the real world. I wish we could just yap
Yes.
for hours,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
by all means, if we ever want to do this again, I won't be with
100%.
this background. I'll probably be moved into the new place by then.
Oh, well,
but I'd be
true.
so down.
Yes.
I'd be so down. It's been
100%.
really fun.
We are doing this
It's been
again
really fun.
for sure.
100%.
Guaranteed. It's only a matter of when, not if. It will happen.
Yes, it's been an absolute
For sure.
pleasure to have you on Pyrrhixz, and we're
Thank
looking
you.
forward to having you and hopefully many others on. We'll see. We never know what happens, but yeah, it's kind of like a dream come true in a sense. Like we're not very big, and it's a dream come true to have to have Sketchy on and you and hopefully others and stuff. It's something that George may feel the same way, but we don't really deserve it. I don't think we
There's a little bit of that feeling.
Don't think like that. You
we're-
guys are great content creators. Don't think like that. Do not think like that. That
thank
defeatist
you.
mindset will kill you. Do not think like that. Like you guys.
It's more so like I don't necessarily think it's like talking ourselves down. It's more so
Right.
talking you guys up. Like
Right.
it's so nice of you. Like we really do appreciate you taking your time out to do this and stuff. And it's
Yeah.
just
Oh, no,
and same with
for
like
sure.
our viewers too. Like
Yeah.
it's we really respect their time, and so we want to make sure we're genuine and actually interested about what we do. And so seeing their responses as well to some of the stuff, it's just truly humbling, like for sure.
Going based off that comment, I appreciate you guys listening me up, but I'd rather us go up together. Like that's my thing.
There you go.
Sure.
You know?
Fair
So
enough.
again, like we're just friends, you know, like we
enough.
have channels, they have numbers next to the name. Those
True.
are numbers next to a name. You know, so at the end of the day, like, genuinely enjoyed my time. You guys are great hosts. Would love to come back on.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, man.
The feeling is mutual. I was actually talking to Neko right before I came on. I was like, I'm so nervous. Like, I don't want to mess up when I'm on the stream.
No way.
And I was like, I'm really looking forward to it. I actually forgot it was at 4 p.m. because I've been in California. So it was 6 p.m. And then I flew home and I was like, oh, it's at 6. And then you guys were like, we're ready. And I was like, oh. It's at 4 because the time zone difference. But
well,
thank you for being accommodating. And like it's been great. It's genuinely so fun.
The feeling is 100% mutual. You couldn't have told that you were nervous at all, and were last minute notice if you hadn't said anything. So, but that's cool. I'm just happy that you're here and we're having a great time. So we look forward to seeing you again.
Yes,
appreciate
look
that.
forward to seeing you again. Don't forget, guys. April, what was it? 18th and 19th.
18th
or the
and 19th,
meetup?
correct.
Okay, perfect.
Yes,
Anyone watching that, don't forget. Thank you so much. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Here, buddy.
Take care.